with Ed. We have a great show planned for you today. You can find us wherever you get your podcasts, including Apple, Spotify, Google, that Alexa thing, wherever you want it, you'll find us. Go ahead, subscribe so you're automatically downloaded so you don't miss an episode. Like us, rate us, give us feedback. I got some personal feedback this week, so we were happy about that. Ed, how are you?
Well, you can speak for yourself about being happy about that feedback. I just need to let everybody know I've now entered into therapy over some of the feedback we've gotten recently. I got two pieces of feedback, one on my end and one on Obi's end, that both basically told me that I need to get my act together. So me and my therapist are working on that. I found out in the past 2 weeks that I bully you, Obi. I'm a bully, and I need to take it easy on you. That's the first piece of feedback I got. And then the other piece of feedback I got was that you are hilarious and I'm basically dry wood. So I'm going to try my best today to keep up with you, Obi, because you're obviously leader of the pack here. I'm going to obey myself and not bully you. I guess I'll stop trying to be funny because that's maybe what screwed us up. But it's quite obvious that Charm is that we suck is really talking about me. So with that, let's get into what you wanted to talk about. Enough of me bitching about myself over here.
So, interestingly enough, the thing that kicked me off this week was, I don't know if I quite call it online bullying, but a lot of proms, I guess, were this last week. A lot of people posting pictures of their high school students going to proms and junior proms. And May 1st is college choosing day. And a lot of people posting pictures of their kids choosing their college of their choice for their next 4 years, of which I'm sure only a quarter of them are going to make it in and out of that school in 4 years. But that's what parenting's all about. And then as I'm scrolling through all these fine pictures of people, somebody posted a post about how they hate it. Stop posting your prom and college pics. And I was like, well, I was not bothered by it. I thought that was Facebook being used for the best possible Facebook shit there is. Like, look, good stuff. I got a kid, got into college. I got a kid going on a date. That's the best Facebook stuff there is. And this person was objecting. Ed, where are you on this?
Well, first of all, I'm going to take this in a slightly different direction because there's something else I want to talk about around this topic. So I'm not going to go that far off. But I think it's hilarious that somebody would post that on Facebook. I mean, that's next level curmudgeon crap. And we should have them on as a guest because, I mean, we think we're cranky. That person's full blown cranky. Like if you're on a social media platform, people post pictures of what the hell they're eating for dinner. And this person's bitching about a prom. I mean, this person's obviously got a lot of pent up anger, but I digress on that one. But here's the thing I'll say, Obi. Let's talk about the photos, right? So they get posted. I see them. And, you got these people you went to high school with, and, maybe you haven't seen them in a while or ever since you graduated high school. And you just found them on Facebook or they found you, and now you're friends. And every once in a while they post, and boom, all of a sudden the prom photo comes up, and you're looking at, decked out high school girls, and you're looking at decked out high school boys. And there's always like people commenting like gorgeous, oh, hot. And then there's the guy. Like, first of all, if you're a guy, I'm thinking you just let those pictures go, right? You just don't say anything because there's nothing good that you can say that doesn't come off creepy, right? Yet there's always that one guy, right? Who's like, oh, gorgeous. And I'm like, dude, you're a creep, man. Why are you even commenting on a 17-year-old's prom photo? I mean, so that's where I want to go with this. Like how often do you like just get creeped out when you see a guy posting on a female's photo on Facebook or anywhere?
I totally agree. Totally agree. I'm just like smile, 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 smile. And then just to make sure I'm completely not a creep, I do the same thing on both genders. So there's just no question, unless I personally know the kid. And maybe sometimes it's a person who knows the kid and like you don't know, and that's their grandpa or whatever. Somebody who might be appropriate, but it still feels like, whoa, dude, look at your age. You were hitting on the mother, and now you're telling the mother that the daughter's hot. That's weird.
I think it's weird, and it brings so I've discovered like there's a lot of weird dudes out there, right? So even if you're on Twitter and you see like a picture of a beautiful woman come up, you just let or Instagram, right? Instagram's another. Yeah, let's use Instagram as an example because Instagram, when you get done, and as my 12-year-old was laughing at me today, that she's like, "Wait, you got to like other suggested posts on your Instagram? You're that big of a loser? You don't have that many people to look at?" So she has so many people, she never gets to other posts. I get to it all the time, so I like see all the social media influencers, Dixie D'Amelio, Charlie D'Amelio, all these people, right? And there's always like you look at these young ladies, right? And they may or may not be attractive. That's not really matters. But there's always guys commenting like, "Oh, nice," and like there are guys like in the middle age, like 50, 60, commenting like, "You're hot," or "Wow, nice ass," right? And I just think like, do you think she's gonna say, "Oh my God, you're the guy for me now because you said I had a nice ass. Let's let's meet up." Like, what are they thinking? And then what they don't realize, like likes are tracked. Like you can go to somebody's profile and see what they've liked. So then you find out your friends are pervs, or you find out the guy that works with you is a perv. And my wife did this. I swear to God, she had this guy that worked for her who was doing some inappropriate stuff. And then she finds on his Instagram that he's liking all these like half naked women photos. I'm like, that dude's a creep.
Yeah, that is a problem. That is a boy. Now your wife's like, I already had bad vibes, and now I have bad vibe proof. Like, okay, yeah, that's not better to change my likes on Instagram now.
Well, so a good rule of thumb. If you're listening to me and you don't know what I'm talking about, here's a good rule of thumb: don't like photos of anyone you're not related to. It's probably a smart move.
Or like photos about sports stories. That's what I like.
Well,
on
that's
Instagram.
okay.
Like
Yeah,
Mets,
yeah.
Yankees, Mets,
But
Yankees, football.
if the woman is wearing a bikini or less than a bikini, and you are not related to them, don't comment and don't like it. It's probably the safest way to go about life.
So let me give you a different issue. It's very similar but slightly different. How would you respond to this? Because this is a real situation I have. I have a friend. If he listens, he's going to know it's him. So he's got a daughter who's 17 to 19, right in there. Like, I know she just graduated high school, but she's a bodybuilder. And when you see pictures of her, if you are into people lifting weight, you can see the work she's done. You work in the gym. You know there are people that just you're looking, you go, oh, wow, that person's putting in the time and the effort. And when I say that's what she looks like, that's my thought every time I see her. Wow, this woman is working very hard at her craft. And yeah, I still won't comment. Because and he's like, oh, here's a later picture. Okay, yeah. I'm just like, she's working hard at her craft. Like one time I did ask, is she a bodybuilder or does she play a sport? But that was as much as I was willing to comment. And then over time realized she was a bodybuilder. But even at 17, 18, that's very hard. Don't be liking that.
Yeah, I don't think you can like it, and I don't think you can comment unless the comment is like, damn, 225, that's more than I could bench. I mean, I think that could be appropriate, right?
Right.
But when you say, damn, your ass is nicer than mine, that's inappropriate, right? Like, I think that's just...
Yes. You've clearly covered the two obviousness. It's that middle ground of, yo, she's putting in work. Is that acceptable? Is that not acceptable?
And, the other thing you should never say, and, there's some guys are dumb, right? Like, we all know dumb guys, and I see them online. The other thing you should never say, in this case, you shouldn't say, hey, can you give my wife tips? Like, don't do that either, right?
No. Definitely don't do that.
Right? No, that would be bad, right? I don't think you should do that. So
I don't think you should do that. Even if the woman is the same age as your wife, don't say that. That's not going to work out for you in the long run.
Again, so the moral of the story is, if you're a guy, don't comment on anyone's photos that you aren't related to. That's just a fact. And now, I mean, listen, if we go back in the day, Obi, like if I was 20 years old right now, social media would be like, oh my God, I'd be losing my mind. I'd probably be liking and commenting everywhere because I think it worked.
If I was 20 years old right now, I'd be listening to this podcast. I'd be telling you and me we're wrong. We have no idea what we're doing. But no, you comment. We comment. You're right back. If You say so, but I don't believe it. And you certainly come across looking in a particular way that for better, not for worse, but definitely for better is not what we are promoting in our society right now. So I agree with you.
So let's get back to your
Staying
prom
up.
because I know you put a lot of thought into this. You sent me the text and everything. So this is what we're going to talk about. So let's
Oh
get
no,
into the prom photos.
that was my whole thing. Like that was my subject. Like, let's see where it goes from there. That was it. Just that guy commenting on the prom photos, not commenting on the photos, but commenting, stop posting the photos. The curmudgeon. That was my whole reason of the conversation. I know we have a couple.
Yeah.
You had a subject line you wanted to go, and
Well,
I
yeah.
have another.
So I want to talk about that curmudgeon again. So again, isn't that what social media should be used for? Is posting the photos, right? I mean, some people think it's for reposting every freaking Fox News broadcast that's out there, right? And I would say that's not what social media is about. We all have our opinions already, and what you post on Facebook isn't going to change my opinion. So yes, I'd like to know if your kid is going to the prom or if your kid is going to Rutgers or if your kid is on the basketball team. That's what I want to know. And I would even like to know you had waffles for breakfast before I need to know what your opinion is on world politics.
I 100% agree. I totally agree. That was my take. Was like, this is the best stuff on social media. I know people only put the good stuff for the most part on social media, but I'm old enough to know they're only putting the good stuff. And they got the final picture for the prom. You know how much angst went into that picking of the dress or the like. I have sons and getting the tuxedo. Oh, I forgot to ask her what color at the last minute. Am I supposed to have a blue cummerbund or is it a red tie? You know. And so you forget all the angst. You go, look, here's the picture. They made it to the dance. I agree with you. That's the best stuff out there. That and I like to drool over the food you cooked. I had a whole
Nothing.
series when the pandemic first came. I was smoking every weekend, posting pictures. Very happy to do so.
I think the other thing about the prom photo, and I think people are missing the point on this, right? Like, mom and dad aren't posting that prom photo so you can admire their daughter or their son, right? They're not. They're really not. What they're posting that photo for is to say, look, everyone that I went to high school with, you thought I was going to be a screw up in life. I'm not a screw up. I got a kid to prom. Like if you get a kid to prom, like, hey, I got coin in the bank because I paid for this crap. I survived the drama that you just talked about, right? And it's basically a way of showing off. Like, look, I'm not a complete screw up that you all thought I was 25 years ago in high school. So that's what we should look at that stuff for. Not like just forget what the pictures of. It's just somebody saying, hey, look, I'm not a screw up.
That's right. I got my kid to prom. I got my kid into college. Hey, I got my kid into college. I officially won that. That's a victory. That child I can mark off as a success. Checkbox, college. Moving on.
I agree. So the guy saying, or the woman, it was probably a guy because women don't usually complain about things like this. But if it was a guy complaining about college choice pictures, I mean, that's ridiculous. Now that maybe that person didn't go to college, and I don't know, maybe they're jealous. I just think that's ridiculous. Why wouldn't you show that off on social media? Again, social media, let's face it, was created to brag. That's all. It was really originally created to brag. Look how cool I am, right? Um,
Yes.
so why wouldn't you tell people where you're going to college unless it's, something you're not proud of?
No, it's I agree. I agree. So there's another type of dance. I don't know that there exists, and I'm going to be careful about this. So I don't know if you had it. Everyone who went to my high school definitely had it. It was in my high school. It was a graduation ball. At the school my kids in now, it's called Project Graduation. It's this after graduation all night dance so that your kids don't go out drinking and driving and die in an automobile accident. And they try to make you send your kid because it's the night with the most accidents. Now, here's the thing. I went to mine. I loved mine. Almost everybody I know from my high school went to theirs. They loved theirs. They all actually did go sober. That was 30 years ago. And if 30 years ago they were telling parents to go because that night was the night they had the most accidents, and 30 years later they're still telling people that it ain't working. Now, I'm still happy for my kids to go, but obviously this thing isn't working, or you're lying or misrepresenting the fact that that's the night with the most accidents. Sorry, had to get that off my chest.
I got a lot of opinions on this one, Obi. I'm glad we went down this road. So here's a lot of opinions, right? First of all, I think they're lying. I don't think it is the night with the most accidents because schools don't all graduate on the same freaking night, right? So how the hell are you ever going to curate that data? And they don't graduate on the same day year to year, right? It could be June 7th this year, and it's going to be June 18th next year, and the following year it's June 26th. So how do you know what night has the most car accidents, right? And then, by the way, I was always told it was prom night that had the most car accidents. So we had our project graduation on prom night. Here where I live now, it's on graduation, right? And they're doing all this big fundraiser. Oh, we got to give the kids a proper party tonight. Let me tell you something. 30 years ago, and Obi, I'm sad to hear that you actually went to yours. Let me tell you something. Lamest party ever. This whole idea that kids want to be locked in for 24 hours overnight with no sober is ridiculous, right? I think there's more of a chance kids today going for that than 30 years ago. The last thing I wanted to do on my prom night was go hang out with my teachers at the freaking party, right? I mean, that's the lamest thing ever. Like, where is the party? I finally got a date. You got to understand something about me. I didn't go to junior prom because first of all, let's go into another topic here. Kids go to proms today without a date. You can just buy a ticket. I don't have a date. I'm going to buy a ticket and go. You couldn't do that. You used to have to get up the courage and ask somebody. And then the question was, okay, do I just go as friends? Because then my night's ruined because I got to be chivalrous and hang out with this girl, but I want to be with my buddies. But then you always have that one buddy who's in love and he's going to get married to the girl. And so that ruins the whole night. So anyway, you got to get a date. So you get a date and you want to go hang out with your teachers? Come on. Get out of here.
I think that's a huge difference between it being prom night and being graduation night. Because for prom night, no, we didn't have that. As a matter of fact, I did not go to my prom. I did not go to my junior prom, but I do. One of my fondest memories is after when I was a senior. So we only had one prom, a junior senior prom. After I was at the after party for a bunch of my friends' junior senior prom. So
was that like 5 years ago you were at the after party? I'm just wondering. Were you like that guy in was Dazed and Confused?
No, I was
all right.
I believe this particular night I was a senior, they were juniors, and I was only a senior once. But it is conceivable I was a freshman in college just visiting them, but I don't believe so. Okay. And I was at the after party, and a bunch of people, and I was asleep before the after party started for the prom folks, and I blamed it on Flaming Shots of Sambucca. But that's another story for another episode.
So did you wake up with things written on you in magic marker?
No, I did not. All right, good. But I did wake up when they came down and somebody said something, and I woke up and said, "Flaming Shots of Sambucca, they work every time," and then
fell back asleep.
Went back to sleep.
So okay, so you're in agreement that this all-night party, safe, sober party after prom night's the dumbest thing ever, right? You're in agreement on that?
On prom, it seems a little crazy. So many people go so expensive, like you were just talking about. They rent a car for prom, or they have parents driving them. Around here, they either rent a car or they go to somebody's house and then the parents drive them all down the shore. So around here, prom itself does not have a lot of booze, but then they prom's on a Thursday, and then they cut school on Friday, spend the weekend down the shore, and cut Monday. And those groups of kids who drink down the shore. So I don't think it's a big at the prom. I'm sure there's some, but I think the drinkers do it that way around.
So then you're thinking graduation. So the whole thing is I graduate, I do my cap and gown, then I throw it away and I go get bombed. And so we're going to have this party all night. So I don't do that. Again, I think the whole getting bombed theory. Yeah, I think the whole getting bombed thing, I think it's real, but I don't think it happens on the day of graduation. I think it happens when the parties are, right? And so, my party was a week after graduation. Jimmy's might have been the night of. another guy was the next night. So again, it's every freaking night of a week for a week. Everyone's having a party. So
Yeah,
okay,
yeah,
so you get locked in one night, you're gonna get bombed the next. I don't know. It's stupid. I
yeah,
don't get it.
yeah. No, for me, it was like 2 parties a day for like 3 weeks, right? And there was the afternoon party. That was the person whose family didn't let you drink. And then the evening party was at somebody's parents' house who let you drink. And then the afternoon party was at somebody's house who didn't let you drink. And then the evening's party was at somebody's parents' house who let you drink. And it went on for, like you said, 2-3 weeks of intermittent days. Of course, there's a period of time after graduation we were down at the shore, so that delayed some of the parties. But yeah, I agree. I don't mind the party. I think it's a great. I think as a graduation party, as someone who attended, it was a great graduation party, especially a small school. Last hurrah to see everyone, and you don't know that that's really the last time you're going to see some of these people, honestly, until high school reunions. You're not going to see these people 10, 20, 30-year intervals, especially when there was no Facebook. So I think in that way, it's a good thing. And I'm encouraged I encouraged my oldest son to go. He didn't go to his. And I encouraged my youngest son to go to his. But this selling it as a anti-drinking and driving thing seems a little bogus.
I think you're right. I think the way you just framed it, you should be the marketer for these parties. You made it sound like that you should go to it. Because at the end of the day, the way they market it, the kids that are going to go to it are the ones that weren't going to get in trouble anyway. And the kids that are going to get in trouble aren't going to be caught dead at a lame-o party, right? So, I mean, I think you got to have a better messaging, and you have to understand that, a lot of it, I hate to say it, but it comes down to, has the kid been raised right, and do they know right from wrong? And are they not going to put themselves in a bad situation around graduation time? I don't know. Just call me old school, but that's just how I think it has to go.
I think you're a little old school, but I agree with you. If your kid can't go to one party for the year and stay sober, then they're not going to go to that party anyway. And you're not going to get the benefit of what you're supposed to be getting the benefit from that. But you're not going to force a kid to go to that party who's not going to go to that party and do what that party is about. It's just not going to happen.
And if you do get the cool kids that are going to have the drinking party and they do go to that party, that's great. But you do realize that they have plan B, and it's going to be another night, and everything you're trying to prevent is still going to happen, right?
Right. And I'm not even saying, let's call them the cool kids for the sake of that's the fact that that's who you and I were. Because yes, I went to that experience, had a great time, and within 24 hours was headed down to the shore with a trunk full of beer.
Bingo.
So, yeah, like I said, in my town, in my community, it was kind of like, okay, this is how we're going to do it. This is how we're going to roll.
I think you just made a statement, though, that could be debatable based on the feedback we get. It sounds like you were probably the cool kid, right? You were probably the cool, funny kid, and I was like the nerdy, unfunny kid. So I don't want you to. So don't speak non-truths, because we're going to get called out for it. We have people listening to this podcast that love to give us feedback.
Yeah, and no one's going to say I was the cool kid. They might say I was a character, but they won't say I was the cool kid.
One other thing on that feedback too that I didn't mention at the beginning is that person better watch out for my mom, because my mom listens to this podcast. She's not going to be very happy to find out somebody said I wasn't funny.
Oh,
she's not going to like that. I thought
it was your mom who said that you bullied me. I thought your mom was standing.
No, my mom did not say that. My daughter said that. My mom may have agreed with that statement, but my daughter said when we were done taping, I went upstairs and my daughter looked at him. She goes, "You bullied Obi the whole time." I said, "Now another thing to talk about in therapy." Damn.
You can. I've never felt bullied by you, Ed.
That's good.
Even when you tried.
That's good. I haven't tried to bully you at all.
Oh, not on the show, but
well, maybe in past lives. Possible. It's possible. All right, Obi. I think we hit the whole social media, the pictures. I think we killed it. So I got a question for you, and I think this is old school, and I think you might have a reaction to this. We'll see. But
okay.
2 trailers came out today, right? Yes. Actually, no, I'm sorry. A trailer came out today, and we'll let everybody know we're taping this on Star Wars Day, May the 4th. May the 4th be with you. So Obi-Wan new trailer came out today. I'd love to hear your thoughts on that. But more importantly, I do believe there is a red carpet premiere going on tonight in California for Top Gun Maverick. I really want to get your thoughts on that because that is a back in the day sequel.
So I am very split about Top Gun Maverick. I will tell you why. I remember, I thought we had this conversation, but maybe we didn't.
We probably did. And this is why we sucked. See, the other part of that feedback is we weren't supposed to like prepare. And this is what happens. If you don't prepare, you start repeating yourself. So you're absolutely right, Obi. So why don't you go down the Obi-Wan? Why don't you go down the Obi-Wan rabbit
Well,
hole?
I think we did. I think we did Top Gun, you and I, on our post show, and I did not put it in the How the Sausage is Made episode. So I will go on Top Gun first, and then get to Obi-Wan because I can go on both of these for a little bit, but I'll try to keep them short. My biggest concern about Top Gun is I really feel it should be like The Color of Money, and that it shouldn't really necessarily be about Tom Cruise. It should be about some other guy, but maybe it will feel very Color of Money because Color of Money really wasn't about Tom Cruise. It really was about Paul Newman. So I hope it feels a lot like Color of Money to The Hustler when this gets made. That's my hope. My fear is that it's not going to, but that's my hope.
So Obi, I have a great analogy. Wait. Before you get to that, I just have a great analogy for you. So it is May the 4th, Star Wars Day. If we think back to the latest Star Wars trilogy, and we heard that Luke was coming back, and Leia was coming back, and Han was coming back, the diehard Star Wars fans really thought that the movie was going to be about those three. We were going to watch this movie with the next part of their lives. And those movies ended up being about Rey and Kylo Ren. So it's very possible we are all led to believe this movie's about Maverick, and it's not at all.
This is very true. And it The Color of Money still is kind of about Paul Newman and his fight to get back, and then, and how that works out, him training this young kid. So yes, maybe it will have the right feel for me. And maybe I shouldn't have a desire for a type of a feel and just have a desire for a good movie with characters I know. Because when you do have a desire for it to feel a certain way and then it doesn't, then you get what happens with the last two Star Wars, where half the people are like, it was cool, even though it didn't feel the way I thought it was going to feel. And then the other half are like, no, it wasn't. And then they're like, well, let's make that other half happy. And then everyone's like, what the was that shit? So, I just hope they make a good movie, and then I can accept the feel when I see it.
I think you should just go in feeling the need for speed, and I think you'll be fine.
If I have, you're right. Just go the need. I have, yes. I'm going to keep the speed jokes to a minimum.
All right, Obi-Wan.
Well, when we were in college, we had a fraternity brother whose nickname sucked. It didn't really fit him, but while he was deciding to become a brother, he had a pimple, and his nickname was Zit. Dumbass nickname, never really stuck, but since we don't use these guys' real names, we'll stick with that. He used to love Kung Fu the Legend. And I, as an idiot, could never figure out how they all knew that he was from China because he was a white dude. And then later I learned he was actually supposed to be Chinese. But the reason I bring that up is I always thought the Obi-Wan saga would, if you just remade Kung Fu the Legend Continues and called it the Obi-Wan saga, I thought it would be fantastic. Obviously, that's not what this is. I am juiced for it, even though, like the last one, I was worried about the feel. This is not going to feel at all like what I would have done, but I am fired up. My only concern is too much Darth Vader. I mean, I feel like he said when we last met, I was the student, you were the master. Gets ass whooped. Like, how much more ass whooping does he need to stay the student? Versus maybe we're just going to see Darth Vader and they'll never actually meet. So I hope that's what happens. But then again, if we get a great Vader stuff, I got Vader. This is not on film, so it's no use showing you the 15, 16 things of Vader in the room I'm in right now. But I'll love it if it goes all into Vader. Anyway,
so I'll say the one thing. In some ways, it will betray the original story if they do meet again in this series, because we were led to believe in Star Wars they hadn't met since that fateful time when he became Darth Vader and lost his arms and legs. But we shall see. And we're nerding out a little bit here, and that's probably not what we should be doing. So, Obi, you got anything else?
No, I'm gonna save you. You had the question this time. My question was not any better than yours. Although you did say 2 trailers, so I thought you might be heading into the trailer that dropped with Daniel Radcliffe. Harry Potter is in a new movie. That's a non-Harry Potter movie that the trailer dropped yesterday. I thought you might go there, but you don't know about my distinct passion for Weird Al, so you didn't bring it up, and that's okay.
So no, I don't. I heard rumors that Harry Potter's playing Weird Al, but listen, we are going to go into our after show after we wrap up, and I think one thing we can tease the audience with is Harry Styles and Howard Stern are trending on social media today, and I want to get into that on the after show. So
okay,
leave it there. I'll let you wrap us up, and we're going to get into that on the after show.
Well, everyone, thank you for listening. He's Ed. I'm Obi. As you all know, the charm is that we suck. You can find us wherever you get your podcasts. Remember, subscribe and like and leave comments. Look, I did really good on that closing there. And we'll see you next week.